As someone who is interested in and fascinated with science, and in particular, someone's career is centered around science education, I feel like I can't really pass over discussing what it means to teach science in the COVID era. And to me, at a very fundamental level, I think the COVID-19 pandemic should really cause science educators, or anyone who's involved in teaching science, to really reflect on what it is that we are doing. Because I think this pandemic has exposed some weaknesses in how we teach science and how we've prepared generations to interact with scientific information. One of the things, and I know that the pandemic has unfortunately become a very partisan situation, but one of the things I think should be a very central point of agreement is that we have a large number of people in our society who are not able to interpret and make sense of scientific information. They're not able to evaluate scientific information by its methods or data sources, or to really be able to evaluate what is high quality scientific information and what's not. And although that's been an underlying problem, we've seen it in other areas, the current situation, I think, has really brought that to light. And so a lot of times, especially at the elementary level, science can be sort of a backseat subject. It's not assessed as often. Even at the secondary level, it kind of gets a secondary tier of assessment, so it's there, but more emphasis gets placed on ELA and math. And although that assessment is probably not going to change, I do think this current situation exposes why it matters to us as a society that we have people who are scientifically literate. And so I would encourage you to kind of take this unique situation, really something that's we've not seen in a century, and we've certainly not seen ever where we have a pandemic on this scale operating in the information environment that the internet and the social media age has created. And so this really is an unprecedented time, and I think that's a great opportunity to reflect on what does it mean to teach science, and why is it important that we teach science, and what are the costs or impacts to our society if we do not do an excellent job. There's a lot of things to consider. We may not have answers about what all of that means for a while, but I do think it's worthwhile to kind of stop and consider what this could mean, and to reevaluate the choices we make when it comes to teaching science and what matters in teaching science and what priorities we should place in light of this current situation. Because I think this is an excellent example of when a scientific topic is having a very drastic and very direct impact on our society, when we are suddenly forcing hundreds of millions of people to interact and evaluate scientific information. And really, this is an opportunity to reevaluate how we approach teaching science, and hopefully make adjustments and decisions that moving forward will lead to a scientifically literate society.